Hello! We're gonna be cooking with chemistry. Now, to start, we're gonna get a pan, right? It's a pot. And we're gonna fill it with about 3 cups of water. And you can just eyeball it. There we go. That's some water right there. Now we're gonna put our stove on HI degrees Celsius. Just 3 times hotter than the sun, mind you, until it comes to a hard boil. Then we'll apply the pasta. Now, while our water is boiling, we're going to clean and rinse our shrimp right here in this tank. And we're going to peel them, because who wants shells? Alright, now we're going to add some salt to our water. That way it will add flavor to the pasta. And we're not using any salt. We're using Morton's iodized salt. You know, James Morton, founder of Morton Iodized Salt Incorporated, actually went crazy in his later years. See, he kept claiming that he could hear little creatures, that these little things called who's were talking to him. That's why he was shot. And there we go. Now that the water is at a hard boil, we're going to about 8 ounces of Anthony's bow tie pasta. You know, you can just picture it. Hundreds of factory workers on an assembly line, all named Anthony, making pasta. Their life industry. Now we're going to put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil so that the pasta doesn't stick. Now let's stir it with our wooden spork. Now that we've put the pasta in, we're going to want to put the temperature down to about 4.5 degrees Celsius so that the pasta has a chance to cook. By boiling pasta, the molecular structure of the starches changes so that it goes from a hard, brittle form to soft and delicious. Pasta is made from eggs, and these eggs have protein. I know, shocker. And these proteins, when heated, act as a little bag which holds in the little starch granulates in the pasta. Haha, chemistry. Now we're going to be starting. Now we're going to be starting on our shrimp and our onions. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a pan, and we're going to put it about medium high, about 5.5 degrees Celsius, and we're going to let that sit for 2 seconds. Okay, now we're going to get some oil. And this is our generic non-labeled oil, because we're not sponsored. Pour that in there, just mix it around. That way it covers the bottom layer of the pan. It's a pan. Now, once your pan is nice and hot, we're going to get our onions. See them? We're going to put them right in the pan. That way, they undergo a chemical change known as caramelization, which happens through pyrolysis, where the sugars and the onions will be broken down. The sugars and onions will be broken down using heat. Once your onions start to undergo a little bit of caramelization, we're going to get our shrimp, and we're going to throw them in. Now don't forget to season them with Tony Cacciarone's original Creole seasoning. It's original, unlike this video. Alright, so what we're going to need is some flavor for our pasta. So we're going to have to make a pestogram. No. Shrimp like all crustaceans, have a pigment chemical in them called axanthin. It's a naturally reddish, pinkish color, but when they're alive, they have other pigments in them as well, and the axanthin isn't dominant. That's why when you add heat, the other pigments, being unable to stand the heat, and they get out of the kitchen. But the axanthin is still prominent, and that's why they're a pretty pink. Now that our pasta is ready, we're going to turn off the heat and we're going to strain it, because it hasn't been through enough stress already. Amylose is a non-sticky starch found in pasta. And what it does is that it bonds with sauces to keep them sticked to the pasta so that it has flavor. And that's what happened with the pesto. Now that we're done with our pasta and shrimp, we're ready to plate. Now look at those nice caramelized onions. Beautiful. Remember kids, portion control.